Good morning, students. Students, in our previous lecture, we discussed how the octet rule fails in the formation of a covalent compounds. We discussed the formation of many molecules like beryllium chloride, boron trifluoride, sulfur hexafluoride, where the octet rule was not followed. But even then, those molecules exist. So definitely there needs a concept to explain how the formation of those kinds of a molecule takes place. So student, today we'll be starting our discussion to explain those kind of objections for the covalent bond formation. And we start with the discussion of modern concept of a covalent bond formation. This modern concept of a covalent bond formation was given by the scientists Heitler and London. Now, what does the modern concept of a covalent bond formation says? The modern concept of a covalent bond has certain postulates or certain points. The first one is the covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals. Am I clear? So, the main points of the modern concept of a covalent bond formation is, the first one is the covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of the atomic orbitals. What are the conditions for the overlapping of atomic orbital? The atomic orbital must be half filled and must be oriented in the proper direction. Am I clear? So what are the conditions for the overlapping of atomic orbital? The atomic orbital must be half filled, it means it must have a single orbital. As in the chapter of atomic structure, I told you maximum capacity of orbital is to have a 2 electron. So it must have a 1 electron and must be oriented in a proper direction. When this half-filled atomic orbital oriented in a proper direction, they overlap. And when they overlap, they result in the formation of a bond. Those bonds will be called as a covalent bond. Now there are 2 ways of overlapping, either head-on or by the lateral overlap. And that will give rise to the formation of 2 types of a bond. That will be the sigma bond and the pi bond. So today, student, we will be trying to explain to you how does the overlapping in the atomic orbital takes place, which result in the formation of a covalent bond. As far as the main points, before I start discussing the concept of this, I must write the main points over here. The first point is the covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of the atomic orbital. So main points of this theory is the covalent bond. The covalent bond is formed by overlapping of atomic orbital. It is formed by overlapping of atomic orbital. Am I clear, student? The first point is clear. It is formed by overlapping of atomic orbitals. So covalent bond will be formed and formed by the overlapping of atomic orbital. Now what is the second point of what are atomic orbital? Remember, these are S, P, D and F. Discussed with you in the chapter of atomic structure. Now, what are the conditions? The overlapping atomic orbitals must be half filled. It means to say they must have a single electron and must approach each other in the proper direction. The overlapping atomic orbital. The second point is the overlapping atomic orbital must be half filled. The overlapping atomic orbital must be half filled. The overlapping atomic orbital must be half filled. Overlapping atomic orbital must be half filled and orient themselves in proper directions. Am I clear? So what is the condition for overlapping? The atomic orbital must be half filled and they must orient themselves in opposite direction. I mean to say they must come closer to each other in opposite spin, because if they come in the same spin, the repulsion will take place. That is, they must come closer to each other. They must approach each other in opposite spin. I'll explain to you this point. They must approach each other in opposite spin. Tell me whether I am clear or not. So these orbitals must approach each other in opposite spin. So what are the conditions for the formation of covalent bond? The covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbital. Secondly, the atomic orbital must be half filled and they must orient themselves in a proper direction. That means to say they must approach each other in opposite spin. Is it clear? Number third, that means when I say they must orient themselves in a proper direction, it means the overlapping atomic orbital must have one electron each. Then and only then they will participate in the bond formation. Thus, the overlapping atomic orbital, or it may be taken as the third point. The overlapping atomic orbital must have one electron each when they participate in the bond formation. However, they will develop certain cases when the pair of electrons will participate. That will be discussed as an aberrations in this theory, and we will come across the valence bond theory in that case. Number third point is, greater the extent of overlapping, stronger is the bond. Am I clear? Greater the extent of overlapping, greater the extent of overlapping, stronger is the bond. Greater the extent of overlapping, stronger is the bond formed. Stronger is the bond formed. Am I clear? Is it clear or not? Now, the bond may either be the sigma bond or it may be the pi bond. The bonds formed are either the sigma bond. Bonds formed are either number one may be, this may be sigma bond, and number two, it may be the pi bond. So the bond formed may be the sigma bond or it may be pi bond. So two types of bonds are formed. Now what is sigma bond? Sigma bond, the bond formed by the overlapping of the atomic orbital along internuclear axis is called as a sigma bond. So the bond formed by the overlapping of atomic orbital, the bond formed by overlapping of atomic orbital along internuclear axis, bond formed by the overlapping of atomic orbital along internuclear axis. That is, student, sigma bond is represented as this. That is the bond formed by overlapping, by head-on overlapping of atomic orbitals is known as a sigma bond. This is called sigma bond. It's called sigma bond. Or the bond formed by head-on overlapping. By head-on overlapping of atomic orbitals is called sigma bond. Head-on overlapping of atomic orbitals is called sigma bond. Am I clear, student? It's called as a sigma bond. Now, I again repeat, it is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals. What are the various atomic orbitals that we have studied in the atomic structure? S, P, D and F. Normally it is found out that the sigma bond is formed either by S overlap or by S and p atomic orbital overlap, or it can be formed by p and p atomic overlap. Am I clear? So, it is formed, we will discuss this in detail later on, by S or SP or PP atomic orbitals overlap. Atomic orbitals overlap. Am I clear? Now, since in the sigma bond, the overlapping occurs along the internuclear axis, this way. So, there is a chance of maximum overlapping when the overlapping takes place along the internuclear axis. So, sigma bonds are stronger bond. Why? Due to head-on overlapping of the internuclear axis, maximum overlapping takes place, and hence the bonds are the sigma bond. Sigma bonds are stronger bond. Sigma bonds are stronger bond. Am I clear, students? Sigma bonds are stronger bonds. Why are these bonds stronger? As these are obtained by the head-on overlapping of the atomic orbitals. Now, before I start discussing how the formation of a sigma bond takes place, first of all, you must remember this is represented by the symbol sigma. Now, another bond can be a pi bond. Pi bond, or we may write down it in this manner, pi, or abbreviated as pi. This is pi bond. What are pi bonds? The bonds formed by the lateral overlapping of half-filled atomic orbitals are called as a pi bond. The lateral overlapping occur in this manner. Since the extent of overlapping which occurs laterally will not be to that extent which was occurring in the head-on overlapping, so that is why the pi bonds will be a weak bond as compared to the sigma bond. So, pi bonds, the bond formed by lateral overlapping of a half-filled atomic orbital, by lateral overlapping of half-filled atomic orbitals. The bond formed by the lateral overlapping of half-filled atomic orbitals. Half-filled atomic orbitals is called pi bond, also written as this way, is called as a pi bond. Am I clear? Since the extent of overlapping, one more thing, the pi bond formation takes place due to the lateral overlap of p atomic orbital. Am I clear? So, it occurs by pp overlapping. It occurs by p and p atomic orbital overlap, pp overlap. What does it mean? We will discuss later on. Just see, p and p atomic orbital overlap also result in the formation of sigma bond. Here p and p atomic orbital may also result in the formation of a pi bond. Now, there must be a certain point of a difference when it will lead to the formation of sigma bond and when it will lead to the formation of pi bond. We will discuss this. I have already told you one of the conditions for the formation of bond is that the atomic orbital must approach each other in the proper direction so that the overlapping may take place. Now, since the pi, during the formation of pi bond, the extent of overlapping is less as it is the lateral overlap, so it is a weaker bond than that of a sigma bond. It is a weaker bond than the sigma bond. It is a weaker bond than sigma bond. It is a weaker bond than sigma bond. So, this bond will be a weaker bond then the sigma bond formation, then sigma bond. I think I shall be very clear. How do we represent the sigma bond? This way. How do we represent the pi bond? This way. So pi bonds are weaker bond than those of a sigma bond. Am I clear, student? What are we studying today? We are trying to study the modern concept of a covalent bond formation. In the modern concept of a covalent bond formation, I have told you, it is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbital. The condition is atomic orbital must be half filled and orient themselves in a proper direction. That means they must approach each other in opposite spin. Greater the extent of overlapping, stronger is the bond formed. They may be sigma and they may be the pi bond. I have distinguished for you what are sigma bond and what are pi bond. Now, student, I'll try to explain to you how the sigma bonds are formed. So, formation of sigma bonds. Formation of sigma bonds. Students, I have already told you that may be formed by SS overlap or by SP overlap or by PP overlap. So, this is already told you. They are formed by, number one was SS overlapping, already discussed, or by S and P orbital overlapping, SP overlapping, SP atomic orbital overlapping, S and P atomic orbital overlapping, and they may also form by P and P orbital overlapping, P and P atomic orbital overlap. Fine. Now, first of all, we will be discussing S and S overlapping. How by the SS overlap the formation of sigma bond takes place. So, SS overlapping. SS overlapping. In S atomic orbital overlap, the two half-filled S atomic orbital will overlap and they will result in the formation of a sigma bond. Am I clear? As the name indicates, it occurs due to the overlapping of a two half-filled S atomic orbital. As for example over here is the formation of hydrogen molecule. As for example, formation of hydrogen molecule. Now, in the formation of hydrogen molecule, the hydrogen atomic number is 1. So, electronic configuration will be 1s1. Am I clear? Now, student, what is the shape of S atomic orbital? It is spherical in shape. S atomic orbitals are spherical in shape. Discussed with you earlier. Now, how the bond formation takes place? Just see, this is one of the S atomic orbital. And this is another S atomic orbital. Both these atomic orbitals must approach each other and approach each other in the opposite spin so that they may overlap to form a sigma bond. So, they will approach each other in the opposite spin and they will result in the formation of a sigma bond. Since over here the overlapping takes place between the two half-filled S atomic orbital, so this will be called as SS overlapping. Am I clear? Now see this one. This is one S atomic orbital. Fine. This must be having one electron. This is another S atomic orbital. And this again will be having a 1s electron. Now, this s atomic orbital will approach each other in the proper direction. Yes or no? When they approach each other in the proper direction, they will undergo head-on overlapping. And when they undergo head-on overlapping, it will result in the formation of the overlapping region, where the extent of electron density will be maximum. So, one more point if you want to add in the postulates or the main point you may add, the maximum electron density will be in the overlapping region. Is it clear? And this overlapping has occurred along the internuclear axis. This will result in the formation of, when this atomic orbital, this is 1s and 1s atomic orbital has overlap. So, this will be called as S overlapping. Is it clear, student? Now, it will result in the formation of a molecular orbital. From here, the formation of molecular orbital will take place. And this will be the molecular axis. And in this molecular orbital, somewhere will be the region of a high electron density. This axis over here will be called as the molecular axis. Tell me whether I am clear or not over here. So, when two half-filled s atomic orbital, they approach each other in the proper direction, they overlap along their internuclear axis, having a high electron density in the overlapping region and resulting in the formation of a molecular orbital. So, this is a hydrogen molecule. So, this formed over here is a molecular orbital. Am I clear, student? Now, the maximum electron density is in the overlapping region. This is how the bond formation of a hydrogen molecule will take place. And how is it obtained? By the overlapping of a two half-filled s atomic orbital. So, when one half-filled s atomic orbital overlap with another half-filled s atomic orbital, it may result in the formation of a sigma bond. Second will be by sp overlapping. Second will be, it will be formed and formed by sp overlapping. Now, what is sp overlapping? When one half-filled s atomic orbital overlap with a half-filled p atomic orbital to form sp hybrid, to form the molecular orbital, which will be having a high electron density in the overlapping region and resulting in the formation of a sigma bond. I will try to explain to you this sp overlapping by the formation of hydrogen fluoride molecule. So, if we discuss over here the formation of HF molecule. So, formation of hydrogen fluoride molecule. How does the bond formation of hydrogen fluoride molecule will take place? Hydrogen atomic number is 1. Electronic configuration will be 1s1. Fluorine atomic number is 9. Configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py2 and 2pzy. Now, how does the bond formation of a hydrogen fluoride molecule will take place? This hydrogen will be having a 1 electron. Am I clear? And this is a p orbital. What is the shape of p orbital? This is having a dumbbell shape. Tell me whether I am getting it clear for you or not. Now, this s orbital will be having 1 electron as per the condition. P orbital will be also having a 1 electron. And they will be approaching each other in proper direction. When they approach each other in the proper direction, this 1s orbital will shift to this side and this will shift to this side. This is what orbital? 1s. And this is what? The half field is 2pz. So, this will be a 2pz orbital. So, 2pz orbital has oriented itself in such a manner so that it may overlap along the nuclear axis with the s atomic orbital. Now, when the overlapping takes place, what will happen? This s orbital and the p orbital will overlap along the internuclear axis, and this will result in the formation of a sigma bond. So 1s and 2pz will overlap, and this will result in the formation of spz, and this will be a sigma bond formation. Now, when it will be represented as a molecular orbital, the region where the overlapping has taken place, it will be represented with a bigger lobe, and the part of the lobe where the overlapping has not taken place, it will be represented with a smaller lobe. So how will it be reflected over here? So this over here will be this one. This will be represented with a bigger lobe. This is this way. And this over here will be this way. The overlapping region is represented with a bigger lobe, and that will be the molecular orbital. And this will be the region where the electron density will be maximum. Am I getting clear, student? This will be the region where electron density will be maximum. And this orbital will be called as a molecular orbital. What do we call this orbital over here? It will be called as a molecular orbital. And this is how the bond formation of a hydrogen fluoride molecule will take place. So this is HF molecule. Am I clear? I think I must be very clear. How have I explained this? This was a hydrogen atom having one electron, and this over here in this case was the p orbital. This is this one. It is having one electron, this is having two electron, and this is again having a two electron. Then 2s2 orbital, and then 1s2 orbital. This is which orbital? 1s1. This is 2pz, 1, 2py2, 2px2. Just look at this configuration. This is 2s2 and this is 1s2. Now 2pz orbital has oriented themselves in such a manner so that they overlap, head-on overlapping. So this will overlap with this, as I have explained over here. I made the 2pz orbital. What is the shape of pz orbital? Dumbbell. S is spherical. So spherically shaped s orbital overlap with the dumbbell shaped p orbital from the region where the electron density was maximum, and ultimately it results in the formation of a sigma bond through overlapping, which will be sp overlapping, and the bond form will be the sigma bond over here. So this is how the bond formation will take place. So student, today in this lecture I have tried to explain to you how the sigma bond formation takes place by SS overlap or SP overlap. We will continue with this lecture further in the next lecture, where I will try to explain to you the formation of sigma bond by the p orbital overlap, in which we will be discussing the example of water and the ammonia molecule. We will be discussing SP overlapping further in the water molecule and ammonia molecule, and then we will discuss the sigma bond formation by PP overlap, in which we will discuss the formation of fluorine molecule. After that, I will try to explain to you the formation of a pi bond. So in this S and P atomic orbital, today I have taken only one example, which was the formation of a hydrogen fluoride molecule. We will continue with this lecture again or in the next lecture by discussion of SP overlapping in water and the ammonia molecule. I again advise you to please make the notes of the same, learn from there. Hopefully you will be doing that. We will meet again in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.